So I just finished watching the Mario Galaxy movie. No spoilers, but it got me thinking, why isn't Birdo in Smash? Because it's very funny how over the years, Birdo has had consistent appearances across many a Mario game, but Birdo has never been considered for Smash, and I think that's just kind of odd. Even up into recent titles like Mario and Luigi Brothership, you see Birdo. However, in talking about RPG games, quite interestingly, Birdo has appeared in every form of Mario RPG to exist because she is a boss in Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, she has appeared in Paper Mario titles, and she has appeared in several Mario and Luigi titles. So I find it very funny that she's appeared so often in various Mario titles, and yet she's not in Smash. Now, unlike Piranha Plant, she's treated more like a character despite her being very similar to Yoshi, in which they are a species and the Birdo we see just happens to be the representative of the species. But even though that's the case, unlike Yoshi, we don't really have any other individuals outside of Birdo herself. Because with the Yoshi species of characters, there are at least two. There's Yoshi, the green Yoshi that we know, and then there's Boshi, at least. But with Birdo, there's only Birdo. So I find it funny that they're supposed to be treated in the same way, and yet Birdo is the only individual that we know of the Birdo species. So I don't know what's up with that. But it's funny that she consistently is treated like her own character, despite just being a representative of her species. But with that being said too, I do wonder, with the Mario Galaxy movie being a thing and her being a henchman of Wart, which makes sense because both of them come from Mario 2, but while I do think Wart is going to be on the rise and possibly an antagonist to Wario in the future, which, spoilers, Wario is not in the Mario Galaxy movie, which is a shame. The rumors are wrong. But anyway, with Birdo being in this movie and her having a action role that is antagonistic, I do wonder if they are going to push her further and use this movie as a springboard, along with using it to bring Wart back into the forefront to make Birdo a character in the next Super Smash Bros. Game. I could see it. I could also see them maybe putting Birdo back into traditional Mario games. I don't think that's an impossibility. I think that could happen. We'll have to wait and see, because there's been a lot of Mario 2 stuff around, like in the DLC for Mario Wonder. That has a lot of Mario 2 stuff in it, namely the mask. But yes, I do think the future for Birdo is pretty bright. However, here's the funny conundrum. In the Mario Galaxy movie, she is a henchman of Wart, which makes sense because that's how it was in Mario 2, basically. However, thanks to her constant appearances in video games over the years and Wart's absence, she has now developed an identity outside of Wart, which is pretty peculiar. So I do think Wart needs some firm establishment or reestablishment in the video game space before they actually put him in other collaborative titles like Super Smash Bros. Because it's not, say, like a King K. Rool situation in which the makeup is there, we just need to do something with it, because he was always associated with Donkey Kong. That's not a problem. Same thing with Ridley. Ridley was always associated with Samus and Metroid. That's not a problem. But Wart needs some form of identity now, because it's not very clear where he stands as a character. Unlike Birdo, whom has firm establishment outside of Wart. So I do think, based on a lot of rumors that have been going around, even though Wario was not in the Super Mario Galaxy movie, I do think, based on there being rumors of a new Wario Land in the works, that would be a very great opportunity to make Wart his own antagonist, apart from Bowser, apart from Mario, or anything of that nature, and make him stand on his own as a main antagonist of a totally different franchise that is adjacent to Mario, but not necessarily dealing with Mario. But with that being said, that's all I have for today. Stay rosy.